This week in Jamaica Now, on the probe, 6 Jamaican lawmakers being investigated for illicit enrichment. Turmoil grips the PNP and the Westmoreland Municipal Corporation. Why a man charged with the murder of his stepmother has been freed. And 37 Haitians fleeing hunger arrive in Jamaica. I'm Jovan Johnson and this is Jamaica Now. The Integrity Commission is reporting that 6 Jamaican lawmakers and 32 other public officials are being investigated for illicit enrichment. At the same time, the Commission says 7 parliamentarians and 28 other government officials are also being probed for providing false information to the anti-corruption body. The alleged breaches have been set out in the Integrity Commission's annual report, which was tabled in Parliament on Tuesday. Illicit enrichment arises under the law when a person fails to explain or give satisfactory reason for owning assets disproportionate to their lawful earnings. The Commission did not name the lawmakers, as its law blocks publication of details of an investigation until a report is tabled in the Parliament. The report indicated that all 10 lawmakers referred for illicit enrichment investigation over the last 5 years have been from the House of Representatives. Meanwhile, the Integrity Commission has disclosed that during the period April 1, 2018 to March 31, 2023, 2 permanent secretaries were referred to the Director of Investigation for illicit enrichment or providing false information to the anti-corruption body. Councillor Danry Delancey has been removed as Deputy Mayor of Savannah-Lamar Westmoreland after 3 recently resigned PNP councillors supported a no-confidence motion on Thursday brought by representatives of the ruling JLP. He was replaced by independent councillor Ian Miles, who represents the Little London division. It's the latest in a months-long drama involving the former PNP councillors from Western Westmoreland who insist that Ian Hales should not be the party's constituency representative. The vote of no confidence played out in an uproar on Thursday. Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie was in attendance. On Monday, Councillor Garfield James, who was seeking to be the PNP's representative, Ian Miles and Lawton McKenzie resigned from the party, saying they will be independents. The party's General Secretary, Dr. Dayton Campbell, said their support of the JLP's motion is a treacherous betrayal of the trust placed in them by the citizens of Westmoreland. The Westmoreland Municipal Corporation is controlled by the PNP, with Bertel Moore, the sitting chairman and mayor of Savannah-Lamar. However, political watchers believe there is a move to dislodge Mr. Moore and possibly switch the leadership of the council to the JLP. The ruling JLP says the Westmoreland situation points to what it calls weaknesses of the PNP leader, Mark Golding. And a court has ordered mediation in the case involving JLP councillor for the Montego Bay West Division in St. James, David Brown, who's accused of assaulting a woman in May. It's alleged that the two, who used to be in a relationship, had a dispute during which Mr. Brown reportedly hit her in the face. Javan Garwood was freed in the Trelawney Circuit Court this week, where he was being tried for the murder of his stepmother, Andrea Lowe Garwood, in a church in January 2021. Director of Public Prosecutions DPP, Paula Llewellyn, says multiple efforts to get the convicted triggerman, Dwight Bingham, to become a witness failed, and that without his cooperation, the prosecution did not have enough evidence against Mr. Garwood. Mr. Garwood was accused of ordering the death of his stepmom.
You had evidence that would show some amount of suspicion, but we needed to go a little bit further. We needed a little bit more to be able to pass the threshold of the no case. An assessment was done. After Leon Hines, that was the taxi driver for the killer, Bingham, gave evidence, and I think Garwood's son also gave evidence. And when the Crown assessed the rest of the material, that was left, it would not have taken the case any higher. So the Crown would still have fallen short of being able to establish the prima facie case to the requisite threshold required as a matter of law. So what the Crown had would have been suspicion, but the Crown needed to go a little bit further. And the only way we would have been able to do that, which we hope from day one we would have been able to do was to engage Bingham, the killer, in plea negotiation.
Now, Mr. Bingham was reportedly paid $170,000 to kill Mrs. Lo Garwood. He is to be sentenced later this month. The witness, Leon Hines, was the getaway driver in the murder and is serving a 6-year sentence after pleading guilty for his part in the crime. The Privy Council has ordered the Court of Appeal to determine the correct sentence for a man who languished in prison for 10 years because authorities failed to file his appeal properly. The UK-based court, which is Jamaica's highest, said Ray Morgan suffered a serious miscarriage of justice. In 2021, the Jamaican Court of Appeal ruled that it would not revisit Mr. Morgan's sentence, saying to do so would be purely academic because by then he had finished serving the time in prison. But the Privy Council said that was wrong and that a person should not suffer because of the failures of the government. Director of Public Prosecutions DPP Paula Llewellyn said that the Privy Council's decision is a wake-up call for all stakeholders. Foreign Affairs Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith says the government has not yet taken any fixed policy position to address the arrival of Haitians in Jamaica this week. As a result, the 37 Haitians who arrived by boat in Portland on Monday are being treated as illegal immigrants. The Haitians, which include 8 children, said they fled their country because of hunger, civil unrest and economic hardships. A United Nations report says 8.3% of the Jamaican population experienced undernourishment for the period 2020 to 2022. At the same time, 25.6% of Jamaicans faced severe food insecurity, while 54.4% experienced moderate food insecurity. The UN released the 2023 State of Food Security and Nutrition in the World report on Wednesday. And that's it for this edition of Jamaica Now, your weekly review of the big news stories. Send us your comments at onlinefeedback@gleanerjm.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Jamaica Gleaner and on Facebook at Gleaner Jamaica. Like this video on our YouTube page, turn on your notification and subscribe today. I'm Jovan Johnson, and before we go, we take a look at the situation at the Somerset Falls in Portland. The famous Jamaican attraction is no longer flowing.
This is unbelievable. Simply unbelievable. The water has disappeared, it has dried up, and operations at this attraction at Somerset Falls has come to a virtual halt. They have to be turning away visitors to the attraction because there's no water. Simply no water here. Even the boats are not even in some of the pool areas and in the river. No water. So it is a crisis situation facing Somerset Falls, and this attraction, undoubtedly, many persons are now out of a job. So it has not only damaged the tourism potential here, but it has hampered or basically crippled the earning power of ordinary residents who are employed here. The only thing that remains is the seating, the many safety signs that were erected, including caution, slippery when wet, and no swimming without a lifeguard present. This situation at Somerset Falls now requires an act of God in the form of heavy rains to restore what it was. And with this prolonged drought, it is highly unlikely that we'll be getting any rain soon, but only time will tell.